WSIE 88.7 The Sound. Hey everybody, thank you for tuning in. Right now is the Celebrity Sit-In segment, and on the Celebrity Sit-In hotline, I have the one and only Mr. Mark Harris II. Mark, how you doing?
Man, I'm doing good, Eric. It's good to talk to you.
Good to have you on, man. I appreciate you coming on. First, I want to say Happy New Year, Happy Holidays to you.
It's same to you and your family.
So, what's going on with you right now? Were you traveling, touring? What's happening?
Right now, doing some traveling, and we had some tour plans in the works for the beginning of this month, but COVID and everything like that has things all over the place. So now, right now, we're just kind of sitting tight and just seeing how it's going to play out before we make a move.
Right. With this new variant is kind of dangerous out there. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah. So tell me, tell everybody who does not know Mark Harris II, how did you get into music? Who were your influences?
I got in music, I think like most people my age around here, is church, and the family and things like that. Started out playing drums. Switched over from drums to keys when I was around maybe middle school, early high school. Wasn't playing drums enough, so the keyboard was wide open, and it just kind of fell in my lap, really. The keys did, but I've always been a fan of jazz and smooth jazz in particular, with listening to like Foreplay and Bob James, Nathan East,
right.
Gerald Damien, Najee, all of those guys is who I grew up, kind of listening to. So
right.
That's where my influence comes from.
Okay. Speaking of Najee, I know you recently got a chance to work with him. I love his music, but what was it like to be able to work with a great artist like Najee?
Oh, man, it was a dream come true for me. It was
right.
Talking to a legend. It was like, for me, it was like the equivalent of like meeting like a Michael Jackson, or something like that to me, But he's a great guy, really in tune with the industry, really in tune with music and his craft. Is very disciplined, and I know I can learn a lot, just being around him. So it was an honor. It really was. Any
future plans to do anything with him?
I can't really discuss that right now, but God says the same. Hopefully, we can do some things, and not with just him, but many other legends that I looked up to, like I said, Bob James, and people like that. So we're trying to get the ball moving.
Make sure you drop it right here at WSIE first.
Oh, you know it. You know it. Yeah, I got to get it first, man.
Right.
Shout out to you. I appreciate you all, man. Really spinning my records and spinning the tunes. Thank you.
Oh, absolutely. Hey, so check it. Speaking of which, your hit Pocket Change came in at number 1 here at WSIE on the Top 88 Countdown for 2021. That you have been on the charts. How does that affect you with you seeing, wow, this is something I created, it's on the charts? Were you blown away?
Man, I was flattened. I didn't know if my song would be on the charts or anything. I listen to WSIE all the time, so for me to hear that at the time that I heard it, my mom actually heard it first and called me and was screaming, and my dad called, and so I was just honored, man. It's the only word I could use, honored and grateful, man, that you all thought enough of me to even put me on the list. So,
hey, man,
let alone at number 1.
I get a lot of requests for your music, and I just thought that was awesome, especially have a hometown person here, from St. Louis, although you're born in LA, but raised here in St. Louis, so we consider you a hometown boy. So
yes,
it's definitely exciting to see you on the charts with some of the other jazz sensations. You did some collaborations with a lot of people. Is there anybody else outside of Najee, anybody else that you would like to collaborate with?
Yeah, absolutely. Marcus Johnson. I talked to him a little bit towards the end of the year. So, I would love to try and work with him. Pieces of a Dream, of course, my good friends from way back, and just anybody that's about moving the music forward. It doesn't have to be anybody that's solidified. I'm all about collaborating with people that are like minded, man, and wanting to work and have the best.
Right. Now, you went to school here. Tell everybody about your educational background, because I think this is something that's real important that up and coming musicians and those that aspire to be musicians should pay attention to.
Absolutely, man. Like I said, I started playing piano around like early high school, and so at the time, it was all about percussion and drumline and band and things. So I've always been in band since the fourth grade. And so once I got to high school and started learning keys a little bit more, I saw so many of my musician friends who could play by ear but couldn't read. You know what I mean? And so I was like, man, I want to really learn, and hone my craft. And so shout out to Rhonda Harper, the first female HBCU band director in the U.S. She gave me an opportunity to go to Lincoln University here in Missouri, in Jeff City. And I went there and I learned a lot from my professors, Dr. Gray, Dr. Robertson, Dr. Smith, rest in peace to him. I learned a lot from from them about counterpoint, about theory and everything. And I think it just took my musicianship, and not just my musicianship, but my discipline level. Going to college and things like that is a whole different type of discipline, because nobody's forcing you to practice. Nobody's making you do anything. It's all about, locking in. And I think that plays a part in me, continuing my music, the discipline that I have to learn and, go to the studio and work on music and things like that. I think it's played a huge role. So I would definitely suggest that any musician up and coming, or whether you've been in the game a long time and just want to go back to school if you have the time, go and learn, some more about your craft, man. That's what I would say.
There you go. Hey, it's easy in the afternoon. We're inside the Celebrity Sit-In with Mark Harris II. I want to take a quick break and drop something from Mark Harris. Let's play some Pocket Change right here on WSIE 88.7, The Sound.
How you doing? This is Mark Harris II, and you're listening to Easy in the Afternoon on WSIE 88.7, The Sound.
WSIE 88.7, The Sound. Eric Easy E Smooth. We are inside the Celebrity Sit-In with Mark Harris II. We're chopping it up. And Mark, next question that I have for you was, what do you do to get your songs that you want to write? In other words, what do you do to prepare for that? Do you just start coming up with tunes in your head and then start writing them down, or do you just get on the piano and just start playing around until you come up with a tune? What's your process?
So I've always liked to record, ever since I was younger, on the keyboards with the sequences and things like that. So it's something about putting melodies and sounds together to make something. So I've always been fascinated with that. So that's kind of how my process starts. I have a DAW that I use. Now it's shifted to the laptop. So
right.
I create a song. I may hear something in my head or hear a melody, or sometimes I draw inspiration from like a movie that I just watched, or something that's happening around it. So I go in and I create the blueprint, which is I put everything into the song that I think I want in there, from drums to bass to keys to vocals. If I don't sing, but I try,
right, okay.
Every now and again. So I do all of those things, and then once I have somewhat of a blueprint, that's when I take it to Shock City here in St. Louis, and I get my guys, the Avengers. Shout out to them, Charles, Buddy Coils, Alex Bruce, and Fred Lamont. I give it to them, and we just go to the studio, man, and we put it together. And that point, I think, is my favorite part of the process, being able to go into the studio and bring everything together. And
right.
There we just put it out.
Right. So what's next? You have Pocket Change out. Do you have anything in the pipeline that you're working on next, or are you getting ready to tour again?
Well, absolutely, man. I always tell my dad, we joke about it, man. I'm always 2 albums ahead, man. So
right, okay.
I got music, ready to go for days. So right now, I'm finishing up my third project, my third album, and right now we're trying to get that together. And since, like I said, with COVID being how it is,
right,
the touring schedule is kind of all over the place. So right now I'm taking these next couple of months to really sit down and finalize the album, get that finished up, and hopefully we can release sometime early this year. And then from there, once the warm weather picks up, man, definitely I'll be out on the road doing some things. I can't really discuss it all right now, but
Right.
it's going to be great things in 22, man, and I'm looking forward to it.
Okay. Now I was at your concert, where that's where I met you at your concert with Phil Denny and Adam Hawley. Are you planning on doing some more events that here in St. Louis?
Oh, absolutely, man. Like I said, with the Trifecta concert, man, it was an honor just to be able to call those guys and to have them come down. And it's a lot more people that I would love, St. Louis to be exposed to, who I don't think they don't. St. Louis doesn't get exposed to a lot. I mean, of course, we get the Brian Cobersons and stuff like that.
Right.
But there are a lot of different other artists like Justin Schultz. Shout out to him. He's a young, artist. Jasmine Gent, who's another young artist that's coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Cindy Bradley, Lindsay. It's just so many people and so many artists that are doing great things that I would love St. Louis to experience. So I'm definitely working with people like the Kranzberg and people like WSIE and
Right.
people like you guys to try and bring more attention and more artists to the area like that.
Right. Cindy Bradley is one person that I definitely is on my bucket list to want to meet and interview her for sure. Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you guys definitely collaborate on something. I would love to hear that.
Absolutely, yeah. It's in the works, man.
Right. That's cool. Hey, Mark, tell everybody how they can follow you, your social media, et cetera, et cetera.
Absolutely, man. You can follow me on Facebook at Mark Harris II Official. You can follow me on Instagram at Mark Harris II. You can also go to my website to stay updated on tour schedules and releases at markharrisjazz.com. And of course, tune in to WSIE, man, to hear more songs like Pocket Change and my other albums, man. Thank you all so much.
Hey, absolutely. Hey, Mark, I appreciate you coming on the show. Anytime you want to come on, brother, you have carte blanche. Feel free to reach out to my producer or myself, and hey, I'd love to have you on. And hopefully one day when this pandemic is over, we can have you live in studio.
Absolutely, man. Thank you again.
Not a problem. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Mark Harris II. We are going to drop another song from Mark, so keep it locked in. We are Easy in the Afternoon on WSIE 88.7, The Sound.